Man, that Shedeur got a chokehold on the city. He got a chokehold on the fans, man. He got a chokehold on the other coaches. I know a lot of coaches on that staff. They love Shedeur. And the players, I mean, you see how Myles Garrett responds to Shedeur every time he plays. And it's like the leader of the team don't come off like that. So, yes, I truly think that it's time for him to go.
What you make of the report, Care Bear? Like, what do you make of it all?
I think it's time to go. I think it's time to go for Kevin Stefanski.
Accuracy, his footwork has gotten better. He's got a lot of moxie and drive and all of those kinds of things. You might just have to say, okay, we only have a 7-game sample size, but we think that he's got it.
That's what you want from your quarterback right now. You want to see that progress. They definitely saw that. They were playing against too high coverage, and he had to take some.
The air in Cleveland has always carried a certain weight, a unique blend of lakefront grit, industrial history, and a particular, profound sporting longing. For decades, that longing has centered on the quarterback position for the Browns, a carousel of hope and heartbreak, of drafted saviors and hired guns, none of whom could break the cycle. The position wasn't just a spot on the roster, it was a specter, a puzzle the franchise seemed forever cursed to solve. But now, as a gray winter begins to thaw into the tentative promise of spring, a new sound is mixing with the familiar rustle of the lake wind. It's a murmur of disbelief, a buzz of cautious optimism, and at its core, a single repeated name, Shadur Sanders. For the die-hard fan, the talk radio regular, the former player turned analyst, the feeling is both thrilling and unnerving. You know what though? A voice might say, leaning into the microphone in a local studio, the passion, raw and unfiltered. I'm starting to see it. I think Shedur's got a chokehold on the city, man. He got a chokehold on the fans. He got a chokehold on the other coaches. I know a lot of coaches on that staff. They love the kid. The players? Look at how Myles Garrett responds to him every time he makes a play. That's the leader of the defense, the heart of the team, and he's lighting up for a rookie. When your star buys in, it means something. So yeah, as much as it pains me to say it about the old guard, I truly think it's time to turn the page. This is Shadur's team now. The question hangs in the smoky air of the post-game call-in show, passed to a co-host known for a more measured, tape-driven approach. What you make of it all, Care Bear? A pause. Then, a deliberate, conclusive verdict. I think it's time to go. For chemistry, for accuracy, his footwork has gotten better. He's got a lot of moxie, a lot of drive. You look at the sample size 7 games, that's it, and you normally pump the brakes. But sometimes you just know. You see the progress, you see the poise. They saw him facing 2 high safety looks against Pittsburgh, taking what the defense gave him, playing smart, disciplined football. That's what you want. That's the growth you need from your quarterback. This isn't just fan speculation or hot take artistry anymore. The foundation for this citywide conversation was laid not in a barroom, but in a reporter's notebook. Mary Kay Cabot, a name that carries the weight of decades covering this turbulent franchise. A journalist whose sourcing is woven into the very fabric of the Browns facility, finally put to paper what had been the organization's worst-kept secret. Her report was a seismic tremor. Andrew Berry's long-term plan for the Cleveland Browns is officially in motion, and Shadur Sanders is at the center of it all. According to Cabot's meticulous reporting, Sanders will be given the full, uninterrupted opportunity to prepare as QB1 heading into the 2000.
In practice, because I've seen them with my own 2 eyes, Shadur Sanders, I've told you guys so many times, throws a beautiful ball. He is very, very accurate. He has elite accuracy.
2026 season, that single detail, full, uninterrupted, is a tectonic shift in philosophy. For a franchise notorious for its impatience, its quick triggers, and its chaotic quarterback churn, this represents a level of commitment so foreign it feels revolutionary. After just 7 starts, the evaluation is complete. The front office, led by the analytically minded yet increasingly decisive Andrew Berry, has seen enough. This isn't a casual, mid-week press conference endorsement. It's not a coach saying, "He's our guy right now." This is the organization, from the top down, signaling with a bullhorn that they believe Shadur Sanders possesses the tangible tools, the intangible mindset, and the stratospheric ceiling to be the guy. Period. Mary Kay didn't just report a decision, she chronicled a conviction. In practice, she would later elaborate on air, her tone leaving no room for doubt. Because I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Shadur Sanders throws a beautiful ball. He is very, very accurate. He has elite accuracy. For a beat reporter of her stature, such definitive, superlative-laden praise is reserved for the rarest of talents. It's not given lightly. Her detailed breakdown painted a picture of an organization tracking a young quarterback's growth with the precision of scientists observing a promising reaction. The improvements weren't marginal. They were glaring. His accuracy, already good, had tightened into a razor's edge. His movement within the pocket, once a bit frantic, had evolved into a controlled, graceful dance, sliding, resetting, keeping his eyes relentlessly downfield. His poise under pressure didn't just show up, it announced itself. A calm in the storm of NFL pass rushes that you cannot teach. These aren't just traits. These are the fundamental building blocks of franchise quarterback play, the non-negotiables that translate from September to January. The timing of this commitment is what makes the statement deafening. The Browns aren't waiting for a 17-game body of work. They're not hedging their bets through free agency or the draft. After a mere 7-game audition, they are handing the keys to the kingdom to a 4-year-old and telling him to map the route. This speaks volumes about how they view his trajectory. For a team stuck in quarterback purgatory for what feels like an eternity, this is a blinding moment of clarity. This move effectively ends any speculation before it can begin. No open competition designed to massage veteran egos. No "we'll see" approach that undermines confidence. The Browns are planting their flag on the hill of Shadur Sanders and declaring, "This is our quarterback." In the context of this franchise's history, a history littered with first-round busts, veteran stopgaps, and moments of sheer chaos under center, that kind of unambiguous conviction is more than a decision. It's a cultural reset. This commitment extends far beyond the final whistle of the current disappointing season. This is about the full picture, the holistic development of a potential cornerstone, the entire off-season ecosystem, OTAs, minicamps, training camp, preseason games, every single repetition, every meeting room whiteboard session, every weight room burst will be intentionally designed around Shadur Sanders evolving into the leader they believe he is destined to become. That kind of tailored, focused continuity is oxygen for a young quarterback. It's how rhythm is built, confidence is cemented, and command is earned. The Browns are no longer just betting on talent. They are investing in a process, and they've made the investment official. They've stopped dancing around the table and shoved all their chips to the center. That action alone sends a resonant message to the locker room, the coaching staff, and the entire league. The era of ambiguity is over.
Shedeur is not playing with a full deck. I think that goes without saying. But, I want to see him play against Pittsburgh's top crew because I'm evaluating him just like the Browns probably are. I want to figure out, is Shadur Sanders my path forward, or do I have to go back to the well? Am I going back to drafting a quarterback? And the one thing that Shadur Sanders could do, and I think everybody, whether you're a Shedeur fan or whether you're one of his haters, I think everybody agreed on, well, the one thing that he can do is play so well that he wins games and knocks the Browns out of that draft positioning to draft his replacement. And that's the opportunity that awaits him against Pittsburgh. If you win that game and you play well.
The credibility of this revelation cannot be overstated. In the noisy ecosystem of NFL reporting, Mary Kay Cabot is a pillar of reliability for the Browns. She is not a provocateur. She is a historian of the present. Her credibility forged in years of accurate sourced reporting. When she speaks, the people in the Berea headquarters listen, because often she is echoing what they've already said behind closed doors. Her confirmation of Andrew Berry's plan carries the weight of a front office memo. This isn't a rumor mill product. It is sourced, deliberate, and calculated journalism. According to Cabot, the Browns' leadership saw enough in 7 games to make a multi-year commitment. In Cleveland, that is not normal. That is not something this franchise does lightly. The growth had to be not just visible, but undeniable. And undeniable it has been. Shedeur's development over this short stretch has forced even the most cynical analysts to adjust their lenses. The flashes he's shown aren't just glimpses of competence, they are sparks of separation, the kind that distinguish a potential answer from another question mark. It's a calm under fire that belies his experience. It's the smart, almost veteran-like decision to throw the ball away and live another down. It's a confidence that doesn't fracture when the pocket collapses or a drive stalls. He plays with a self-assuredness that infects a huddle. Look, Shedeur is not playing with a full deck right now. A critic might concede on a panel show. The offensive line is patchwork, the running game inconsistent. That goes without saying. But I'm evaluating him like the Browns are. Is he my path forward? Or do I have to go back to the draft well? The beautiful or terrifying thing for the Browns is that Shadur holds the solution in his own hands. He can play so well. He can win just enough games that he knocks the team right out of the draft positioning needed to select his potential replacement. That's the opportunity that awaited him against Pittsburgh. You win that game, you play well, you put another feather in your cap like the Raiders game, the Titans game, you build a resume. If he beats Pittsburgh, I won. I became the first quarterback since Deion Thompson-Robinson to beat the Steelers. This game, even if the playoffs are gone, matters. The future of the franchise is literally on the field. It's that impactful. When Shadur Sanders first entered the league, the questions trailed him like a shadow. Could the son of a legend carve his own path? Was his college game translatable? The jump is brutal. The speed is a shock. The windows shrink to pinholes. The pressure is a constant, suffocating force. But what Shadur has done in the face of this is what makes the story compelling. He hasn't just survived. He has imposed elements of his game. His accuracy, as Cabot noted, has rapidly become his signature in a city that has endured errant passes for a generation. The simple, profound act of the ball, arriving where it is supposed to, on time and in rhythm, feels like a revelation. This isn't just completion percentage. It's placement hitting receivers in stride, leading them away from danger, dropping deep balls into buckets. This level of precision is a language everyone in football understands. And it's a language the Browns have been desperate to hear. This is about more than metrics. It's about trust. Trust from the front office that they've identified the right piece. Trust from the coaching staff that they can build an offense around his skills. And now, trust from the entire organization that he can be the focal point. The Browns are finally committing to a quarterback with intention, with a plan, and with a belief that feels substantiated by evidence, not just hope. The focus on his pocket movement is a telltale sign of sophisticated evaluation. In today's NFL, where defensive coordinators are diabolical architects of pressure, the ability to navigate the pocket is a survival skill. It's not about being a scrambler. It's about being a slipper.
You will have another feather in your cap, like the Raiders game, like the Titans game, and even though those aren't great opponents, you'll be able to say, well, I played well. And for the sake of the Raiders game, well, I won. If he beats Pittsburgh, well, I won. I became the first quarterback since, Deion Thompson-Robinson to defeat the Steelers and Jameis Winston last year in the snow that beat the Steelers. So, I do think this game, even though it is kind of feels meaningless, there's still a lot of reason to tune in because the future of the franchise quite literally could be at stake. To me, it's that impactful long term.
A contortionist who buys time without losing downfield vision. Shedeur has shown an innate feel for this. He slides, climbs, and resets with a balance that keeps him ready to throw. He doesn't panic and scramble into trouble at the first sign of pressure. He feels it, evades it, and keeps his mechanics intact. This poise under fire is a direct window into his mental processing. You can drill footwork, but you can't drill calm. You either have the neurological makeup to process chaos and find order, or you don't. Andrew Berry, a GM who values data but must also trust his eyes, clearly believes Shedeur has it. Berry's decision to grant Shedeur the full 2026 preseason runway is the ultimate show of faith. This is a general manager staking his reputation, his organizational capital, and the team's immediate future on one player's development. It's not a tentative experiment. It's a declaration of vision, The Browns are done with placeholder quarterbacks and one-year rentals. They are investing in stability, in a quarterback who can grow symbiotically with a talented young roster. Berry has signaled in the clearest terms possible that Shedeur is that catalyst. This commitment is manifesting in profoundly meaningful ways behind the scenes. Sources indicate that Andrew Berry didn't just send a message through the coach or issue a press release. He personally went down to the locker room, sought out Shadur Sanders, and met with him face to face. In the corporate, often impersonal world of the NFL, this is a significant gesture. It's intimate. It's deliberate. A GM doesn't make that walk for a casual chat. He did it to look Shedeur in the eye and convey the weight of the opportunity and the strength of the belief. It was a transfer of authority, a symbolic passing of the torch. For a young quarterback trying to assert leadership, knowing the architect of the roster is personally, visibly in your corner is an incalculable source of strength. The plan now is comprehensive and structured. A full offseason, not as a competitor, but as the man. This is where quarterbacks are forged. It's in the film room, dissecting coverages with the coordinator. It's on the practice field in May, building unspoken chemistry with his receivers. It's in the weight room, adding the necessary durability. It's mastering protections, understanding the nuances of each teammate's tendencies, and immersing himself in the identity of the offense. Game days are the test. This offseason is the intensive study period. The Browns understand this distinction, and for the first time in years, they are providing that crucial, uninterrupted study time to a quarterback they own. This decision transcends physical talent. It's about leadership and the elusive it factor. Shadur has demonstrated a capacity to command respect not through loud speeches, but through a relentless work ethic and a poised, confident demeanor. He doesn't deflect blame. He absorbs responsibility. In a locker room filled with strong personalities and proven veterans like Myles Garrett, that quiet authority resonates. The front office isn't evaluating him as a bridge. They are viewing him as the potential face of the franchise. That distinction changes everything from marketing to roster construction to the very culture of the team. Crucially, this vision extends to the very top of the organization. Jimmy Haslam, the owner whose tenure has been marked by volatility and impatient decisions, appears to be a central, supportive figure in this new, patient approach. According to sources, Haslam has been involved in direct conversations with Shadur's father, Deion Sanders, to discuss the long-term vision for his son in Cleveland. This is not normal owner involvement. This is profound. When an owner engages at that personal level, it signals that the player is viewed as a foundational asset, a pillar for the next decade. It aligns the football operation with the ownership suite in a powerful, unified front. Haslam's support is the final, critical seal of approval. It tells every employee of the Cleveland Browns that Shadur Sanders' development is the organizational priority, full stop. As the 2026 season looms on the horizon, the Cleveland Browns are unmistakably pivoting into a new era. The fog of quarterback uncertainty is lifting, revealing a path built on a rare trifecta: continuity, development, and belief. The alignment between Andrew Berry's analytical conviction, Mary Kay Cabot's confirmed reporting, and Jimmy Haslam's personal investment forms an irresistible narrative. Shadur Sanders is no longer a question. He is the answer the Browns have spent a generation searching for. This is a defining moment, not just for a roster, but for a city's sporting soul. The endless, draining cycle of quarterback hope and despair has a chance to be broken. The decision to anoint Shedeur as the 2026 starter isn't merely a football tactic. It's a franchise-altering declaration that will dictate every move they make for years to come. If Shedeur's trajectory continues its upward arc, if the accuracy remains elite, the poise solidifies into leadership, and the flashes become consistent performance. The future in Cleveland isn't just brighter, it's fundamentally rewritten. Stability at quarterback is the tide that lifts every other boat on the roster. It allows for long-term planning, for strategic roster builds, for an identity to take root. So, what does it all mean? It means the Cleveland Browns, at long last, have a clear, unified, and fiercely committed plan at the most important position in professional sports. They are choosing development over desperation, patience over panic. They are placing their trust, their resources, and their faith in Shadur Sanders, arming him with the time and support necessary to succeed. The road ahead is fraught with the immense pressure that comes with such a mantle. The AFC North is a brutal division. The expectations will soon morph from hope to demand, and the ghosts of past failures will always whisper. But the Browns, from the owner's suite to the GM's office to the locker room, believe Shadur Sanders possesses the unique amalgam of talent, temperament, and toughness to not only face that challenge, but to define it. As the 2026 season draws nearer, one truth resonates through the halls in Berea and in the hearts of fans across Northeast Ohio. Shadur Sanders is ready for the burden. And, for the first time in a long, long time, the Cleveland Browns are finally ready to build their future, with conviction around him. The wait may not be over, but the wandering has ceased. They have found their direction. His name is Shedeur,